All right, let's go. You know, it's crunch time ahead of the general elections slated for tomorrow, February 25th, and the national adrenaline has been raised by a litany of electoral violence causing needless deaths. Former head of state and chairman National Peace Committee, General Abdulsalami Abubakar, is dismayed that politicians have become unscrupulous by not obeying terms of the peace pact signed by them. At least 15 people have been reported killed in different attacks on campaign trains in Kano, Enugu, and Ebonyi states. Politicians behaving badly are sending very wrong signals. What more can I say?
Yeah, it's something to be really worried about. Elections, general election, every 4 years. Off-season elections again and again in the course of a year. Yet, the same politicians refuse to change their ways. The politicians simply refuse to change their ways. What is the point in signing peace accords that you know you have no plan to abide by? You are wasting those old men's time. People like General Abdulsalami, people like Martin Kuka, the rest of them, who have committed to making our elections peaceful. Over the years, they've been committed to achieving this. They call meetings, they cause politicians to sit down together to sign. You see politicians, exchanging banters, pumping hands, back slapping and all that. But that's where it ends. That is where it ends. Because they continue to encourage their followers to see members of rival political parties as enemies.
Oh, yeah.
Some of the rhetorics coming out of the mouths of these politicians can only drive people to violence. I was watching a small clip of what looked like a debate between the two front runners.
Okay.
In the governorship election in Oyo State, the two front runners. I was really ashamed. The way they were abusing one another. And the hall was packed. Yet these politicians could not even speak in dignifying language. Intemperate language was what was on display. Abusing one another before young men and women who were in the hall. I mean, it was not the right example.
Yeah.
And what this does is, as soon as they are coming out of that hall, the battle line is already drawn.
Yeah, in the sand.
It's drawn. The boys and politicians are never short of thugs and roughnecks. The roughnecks are already waiting. All that they need is just the signal. Go and deal with that person.
Yeah.
I've said before,
Jide, imagine what is reported from Enugu State. The INEC has suspended the election there until March 11th.
You know, that of Enugu and other parts of the Southeast is even a different thing. We know that there is a group on a killing campaign. All that is interested in is to ensure that elections are not held in that part of the country. But I'm concerned about people who sit down to say, look, we want to sign a peace accord. You see them smiling, you see them exchanging banters. They give the feeling that, look, all is well. But that's where it ends. And why should we keep having this ritual every year?
I wonder.
Why would the politician not commit to peace? Why does the politician think that he cannot win an election unless he has thugs? Have you seen in the far north, have you seen some rallies of the political parties? The young men attending those rallies, they go with clubs.
Yeah.
They are ready for a fight. You see them, you just see those their sticks. Raising them, you see them raising their sticks. When people expect them to clap, the sticks are up.
Oh boy.
That is to send a message to the arrivals that don't come close because we have come prepared.
So where is the problem? From the principle?
It is it's the politicians. We can have elections not characterized by violence if the politician decides in his heart.
That's it.
That he will not spill blood over his election. But what do we see? Politicians believe that, look, that they can't win unless they employ thugs. Most big politicians in our country have thugs.
Oh, yeah.
Prepare somewhere. In fact, some have people whose duty is to take care of those thugs. And they service those thugs all the year round. Because thugs that are very, very vicious, they don't want to lose to their rivals.
You know, Jide, I became shocked to the marrows when a colleague said he was a PA to one of the governors up there, and Yinka, you won't believe, money to buy drugs, hard drugs and stuff was in the budget.
Of course, that's to be. No, but you see, one eye for you last night, meaning that
you can't be crazy with that for open eye.
Exactly.
Your eye must dirty. Your eye must dirty before you demonstrate madness.
Yeah.
Look, a lot of these boys, when they arrest them, put them in the slammer, after a few days.
They are let off.
No, that's not the point that I make. After a few days, because they've not been able to have access to the drugs that they ingest.
Become sober?
They become sober, they become very, very, very
like
innocent looking. Look at that boy that they were calling DPO during the NSAS, the one who put on the uniform of a policeman that was said to have been killed. By the time our policemen here handled him, I saw that his mouth was bleeding. I said, this guy, he wasn't involved in the boxing match yet. He had red ink. I said, my guys, they've dealt with him. By that time, the boy had become extremely sober. I now placed in my head, I placed the video of him walking with a swagger.
That's it.
With other rioters, with that dress on him, and they were shouting, DPO, and he was
waving at them.
Taking in the applause.
Inka, the other angle to it is, it should bother you and I, all three of us, that politicians have become Machiavellian in this country. Win by every and all means.
It is because we have the laws, we don't apply the laws. Taking off from where BK stopped, the Yorubas say that it is another man's child that you send on an errand in the midnight. You will not send...
No be your picking.
Exactly. So now, most of these politicians, when they are doing this, they don't talk to you about their own children. I remember there is a skit making the rounds now. One of these roughnecks was standing, two of them were standing with a big politician outside a mansion. And the guy, the politician was telling them where to go and who to go and fight. Lo and behold, his son came back from abroad because he was dressed like they do there. And the leader of the thugs was telling the man that, okay, you said we should go to this place, go to that place and all that. Thank God your son has come. He should follow us and let us all go. The man said, why will he follow you? You are doing your job. And he said, no. We are
doing
also
the same job.
We are also somebody's children. Let your child follow us and let us go. So it goes to say that most of these people don't allow their children to participate in this.
Because
they know what it is.
Yeah.
And unfortunately also, we have our laws, which we don't which we don't follow. We don't need new laws. We have electoral laws. We have criminal laws and all that. Completely stated out what offense you will commit and what punishment you will take. But because most of these people are politicians, they are rich, they are big men and women who have names, as we say, whatever they do, we look over it. If you go to the Abuja where they signed that peace accord, immediately you stepped out of the hall where they signed that peace accord. All these boys are there.
Waiting for orders.
Exactly. Do these people call these boys together and tell them that, look, there must be peace. Let us play this game as a sport.
Yeah.
Because every one of us cannot win. But they pay lip service to it. They sit down, dress in big gowns and all that and smile at each other. But immediately they leave that place, that is the end. So we need our laws to be enforced, no matter whose ox is God.
Yes, God. Okay.
If we don't do that, we'll still continue in the same dance.
All right, folks. It's election morning tomorrow, and we have deployed a number of our